EVs, solar power, and batteries at a tipping point. While autonomous cars are on pace to match or exceed human safety by 2024, welcomed Main Street stock investors to Market Talk Monday on the Paul Mampilli YouTube channel, home of Bold Profit Strong Hands Nation. I'm Amber Lancaster. Thank you for tuning in. And today, Paul is joining us to share his latest market insights and answer some general market questions that we got. But before we begin, we all like to wish everyone a safe and happy Labor Day holiday. Hope you're having a blast. And also, please remember to subscribe to this channel, like this channel if you like the content. And of course, know that you can visit us at boldprofitsdaily.com to sign up for our free investment e-letter. So let's get started. Hello, Paul. How are you this morning? Good to see you.
I'm well, Amber. Thank you for having me on. And how are you doing? And how's Alex doing?
Alex is doing well. We're all fine. Just hanging out. Day in paradise.
Yeah. Nonetheless, we can stop all the small chit chat and our little comedy act with you, me, and Alex and get to the business at hand. Right, Amber?
Of course. So yes, you have at it, Paul. I know you have a lot to talk about. You've been tweeting quite a bit on EVs, solar batteries, autonomous tech. So I'd love to get your take on what's happening in your mind there.
Yeah, I actually, I think it was yesterday, I was, one of the ways that I do my work is I've got this burner email account. Okay. And when I come across industry newsletters or people that are giving away information, I just sign up because what I find is that getting a lot of points of view separate from the market, separate from any company, just independent researchers looking at a technology, looking at the progress that's being made in a particular field, you start to read a lot of this, you start to form a picture. So I sent you this article from actually this research firm, and I know you follow them too, because I've seen you tweet information from them, ID Tech X.
Yes.
And I really had to, do one of those emojis with my eyes, like, what? Because, it said like, by 2024, which is just 1, 2, 3 years from now, they feel that based on the progress that's being made by Waymo and Cruise,
right,
that we are going to be at, complete autonomy. And now, if you read the regular media, they're like, oh, this is going to happen in 2040. This is going to happen in 2045. But here is a specialist research firm, and I read their work, their free work, regularly to see where their thoughts are, what they're thinking. I was telling you that based on actual data from the California Department of Transportation, based on two credible companies, Waymo and Cruise, 2024. Whoa, that really is a huge jump in expectations relative to certainly what the vast majority of people in the stock market are thinking. And then when I add on an additional element, which is that I go by what Tesla is doing. So Tesla started earlier with autonomy. Second, their database is based largely, almost completely based on actual real miles driven, including some of mine. I've been using autopilot for over 3 years now, and I can tell you that it has jumped in capability in terms of what it can do. And I don't really even have the latest version of it. So if I put those three things together, if Waymo and Cruise, Amber, are on track to deliver this, let's say approximately 2024, let's round it out and say 2025. Okay. Well, Tesla, it must be imminent. I mean, it's got to be 2022. It's got to be like early 2023 because they started earlier. They have way more data. And I personally, from actually using the actual product, have seen the jumps that it can make and its ability to make right turns, its ability to go across intersections. I mean, it does feel a little bit white knuckle because you're unsure, but the more and more it does it, you realize that it never skips a beat. It knows exactly what to do and does it without any distractions. And sometimes it breaks, and then I wonder why. And then, of course, it's seen something or observed something that I actually did not notice.
Mm,
And so it's got capabilities that are much better. And I sent you statistics in preparation for this market talk.
you did.
I mean, the devastation caused by car accidents,
Mm-hmm.
car fatalities around the world, it's an extraordinary number. It's, 1 million people worldwide, and a
1.4
large
million.
number of younger people, because younger people are often less experienced in handling a car. And then also, as we have, societies around the world that are getting older, this is
Mm-hmm.
going to become a critical technology. Bottom line to it is that there's always like some technology that really sort of, I think, advertises to the world, Amber, that we're moving on from a sort of the previous generation of the world to a new one. And I think that once really people start to see autonomous cars increasingly everywhere, like the way now, like nobody's really surprised if they see a Tesla.
Mm-mm.
You're not even that surprised if you see maybe, some of the other, I know BMW has a electric vehicle that's out there. So
Mm-hmm.
nobody's like shocked by that. And I know like when I first got, I actually got my very first electric car in 2012. I
Wow.
had a Volt.
Okay.
And back then, I remember people like literally walked up to my garage, like, "What is that thing that is attached to your car?" They're talking about the charging cord.
Mm-hmm.
So it was incredible novelty. By the time I got my second one, which was a Tesla,
Mm-hmm.
people were curious as well. But however, they were much more interested in the Falcon doors, truthfully, I think, than the EV.
Right.
But like, imagine like being on the streets, Amber, and where like somebody is on their phone and it's okay. The computer is in charge. That will be a head spinner.
Yes.
A head spinner for a lot of people. They go, "Whoa, this is different. We are now arriving into a different generation, a different version of the world than what we had before." So I'm incredibly BOP, as you know, and as our readers know, on what we call America 2.0, the fourth industrial revolution,
Mm-hmm.
this new world, which has been sitting there really for the entire time that we've had Profits Unlimited.
Right.
And for those of you who are new to our channel, Profits Unlimited is our flagship newsletter service, research service. Goes for something under $50. If you want a longer time frame, it's something more than that. And we focus exclusively on these kinds of opportunities: self-driving cars, EVs, Internet of Things, blockchain, artificial intelligence. And if you're interested in that, quick pitch, click on the strong hands above, and that will send you to a 3-minute ad on Profits Unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to what I was saying, there's also other things that are going on. I've been very proudly showing people, and I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
I recently got a Tesla Powerwall,
Mm-hmm.
and this thing, Amber, is genuinely also sort of like autopilot and autonomy.
Okay.
I mean, in real time, like at the moment we're recording this is telling you where I'm getting my power from.
Oh, I see.
Right. So the top one is the solar, and you can see right now I'm feeding my Powerwall because I used it last night,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I got all of my electricity, and then the rest is going into my house. And once it's done filling up the Powerwall, it will now start to supply the grid,
Mm-hmm.
and my utility company now will credit me for all the power that I send to them. So there's a revolution going on in obviously driving,
Mm-hmm.
which is mobility. I mean, that's a big deal because obviously for us to go anywhere, we have to transport ourselves. So this is a big part of human life. So a big part of the economy. And then energy. I mean, we couldn't have any part of our current modern lives without energy. And Tesla is revolutionizing that. And in the process, you can see a lot of other companies that are also understanding like, whoa, this world is changing and we need to change now and get in on this incredible opportunity. And I'm actually working with our publisher on putting together a marketing presentation on another company that does a little bit of what Tesla does and incorporates the house and the utility. So that's something that we hope to release later this year.
Mm-hmm.
But amazing, incredible things that are really going on in our world that thus far I still think that the stock market does not account for. And last thing I'll mention before, I know we have a couple of questions.
Sure.
I've been closely following what's going on in New Orleans. It's just my general nature. When there's an event, I want to know what's going on. And as you know, there's over 1 million people in Louisiana without power, something like that, maybe slightly less today. And I saw this news story in my sort of daily news sort of scanning, and it said that the lights, the traffic lights in New Orleans somehow are working. And I thought, well, that's really odd. I mean, because virtually all of New Orleans is dark. There are small pockets that have power, but that's really weird. Like maybe they have some sort of special preference for them to be connected. Well, no, it turns out that the traffic lights in Louisiana are powered by solar power.
Wow.
The solar power, right? And so then, I sent you this tweet. Maybe we can put it up. And I think this lady, asked a perfectly good question. Why can't everything run on solar power? And I just thought that if more houses had solar power, if they were undamaged or damaged just a little bit, or even damaged more, but where some part of their house was habitable, some of them would have, at least during the day, power so that they could charge up at the very least their phone so they could be in touch with their loved ones, or do some number of things at the house versus it being where the house is there. However, it's completely really something that, that has no capability. So once again, it does point you to this old and new world, which is that I truly believe that we are going to see over the next 3, 5, 7 years, new neighborhoods are going to come with solar power on the roof. It just is going to be something that's a default. And then it's also going to come with some integration with a storage device. First small, and then which is going then to lead to sort of what I'm doing now, which is that the grid exists as just one source of power. So these are just two examples: electric vehicles, autonomy, and the solar and storage. Great examples of actual things that you can actually see changing our world right now. And there are so many others. I could go on for hours, and we could talk about crypto and blockchain and the application to mortgages that are coming, and and artificial intelligence and what's going on in so many worlds. However, we'd be here for days because that I can just talk and talk and talk. So nonetheless, I am very, very bullish, optimistic, and positive. We've gone through a 6-month correction in our stocks. It's definitely looks like it has ended. We are now starting to see a lot of interest come back into our stocks, and people are starting to buy these stocks, bid them up. We can see it on a day-to-day action. I believe our equal weighted portfolio is up something like 12 or 13, maybe 14% as of the end of last week. Not every single stock is up. However, as I like to point out to people that sometimes like to come and troll me, I mean, people compare us to the S&P 500. There's 500 stocks in the S&P 500. I don't think they have every single of those 500 that are up. We've got somewhere like in the range of 40 stocks, and every portfolio is carried by its winners. Just by logical statement, that's that. So I'm still very, very, very BOP on our America 2.0, Fourth Industrial Revolution, New World stocks. And I think that post this painful correction, when the outlook is so positive, so bullish, I think that we could go on a multi-year run where you can see our stocks go through a period where many of them will just keep going up and keep going up, and where our strong hands nation is going to be rewarded for sitting through what has been quite a difficult period of time, because you definitely have to have some courage, have some belief, have some conviction to go through those moments. Because when those moments come, when you go and read Market Watch or Yahoo Finance or even the Wall Street Journal, they are not confirming you. They're telling you, no, it's all over. It's the end. Forget it. This is a bubble. This is a crash. This is a crisis. So, but you will see the benefit of being part of our strong hands nation, holding through. No big gains have come in a day or a week or a month or without enduring significant volatility. The markets always make you earn it. You got to have those strong hands or diamond hands. All right, Amber, I'll stop there because I know you have a couple of questions that you got from Twitter.
I do. Invest for Life, one of our Twitter followers, very faithful, intelligent, obviously, person. Invest for Life asks, guys, we're in the last quarter of the year where a lot of investors start to sell their losses for tax purposes. Do you think this will kill any rally this year?
Well, I mean, I believe that most people sold earlier this year or so. People are just buying in. It's you would face that on a short-term basis if you had a very big run and where people have profits to take. However, we're just beginning. And then secondly, I have to say, this is not the kind of thing that we focus on because our timeframes are just much longer. In general, most of our services, we say a minimum of 1 to 3 years. And even longer, 3 to 5 years, 5 to 7 years, because big money is never made in a year or in a week or just 1 month or a day. It comes over time. Nonetheless, obviously, Profits Unlimited has been around for 5 years now, and we've been annualizing at nearly 30%. So I can see people might have gains. However, this year, I actually think that there's going to be very little selling pressure on our stocks because they have had such a difficult 6 months, which suggests that people have been selling rather than buying. And so they're just buying. They're going to have very small gains. It's only us that have been sitting around in these for some number of years are going to have these large gains. And I don't think we have enough people quite yet in the Strong Hands Nation to make even like a small imprint on our stocks yet.
Okay. All right, that's a good point, Paul. Also, Invest for Life asks, guys, if this is regarding altcoins, guys, if most altcoins are built on Ethereum, wouldn't it be prudent to just own Ethereum and call it a day?
It certainly is a perfectly acceptable thing that you could do. I mean, as we own Bitcoin as well as Ethereum in the Profits Unlimited portfolio, and we recently added a third. Won't mention it. It's caused some controversy among our Strong Hands Nation. Nonetheless, it's our third coin, and there's definitely a case to be made for just owning Bitcoin and Ethereum and saying, hey, whatever else happens, I've got my sort of participation. I got my piece of crypto. And definitely my study of markets suggests that the vast majority of the returns in the long term come from a few big winners. So the vast majority of the long-term gains in crypto will come from the top 10, top 20 winners. And so for sure, that Bitcoin is going to be around 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And if that's right, then it's going to be much higher. And I feel pretty good about saying the same thing about Ethereum, which is that it's going to be around 5 years from now, 10 years now. If that's the case, it's going to be significantly higher. Now, there are other blockchains, and blockchain is such a large, huge, mega trend development that there's likely to be more winners. And if you're interested in that, you should definitely check out Crypto Flash Trader, which is our service that we started this year. And there, Ian will really take you on a journey to explore the entire sort of panoply of coins that are out there, and where you can see, like, if you do want to add a third or a fourth or a fifth, you'll discover a lot of new coins through that. However, I think you're onto something, which is that for a lot of people, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the third one that we added might be enough. Could be enough. Be enough.
Well, that's it for the questions for this week, Paul. I appreciate you taking some time and answering them for us. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Amber. And I'll have to let JB know, who always comments, that I have once again done my job successfully. Alex is fast asleep. Thank you so much for having me on, Amber. You're doing an awesome job.
Thank you, Paul, for being here with us. You have a great day ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. And a big thank you to Paul for joining us today on Market Talk Monday. And if you're not yet a member of Paul's Profits Unlimited newsletter, well, come and join us and get all of Paul's latest recommendations and all things that he just mentioned that are at tipping points, from EVs, electric vehicles, to solar and batteries, to self-driving autonomous technology. Simply click the Strong Hands icon over my shoulder right here, or the link in the description section of this video for all the Profits Unlimited details. Also, you can visit us at profitsunlimited.com to sign up for the research service there. Now, moving on, I have to say, since it's been a short week ahead due to the Labor Day holiday, we will only have two major economic releases to look forward to this week. They are as follows. On Friday, August PPI final demand month over month and August wholesale inventories month over month will post at 8:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. respectively. And also remember that you can follow Paul and me on Twitter at ManpillyGuru and at A Lancaster Guru. That concludes this week's Market Talk. Thanks you everyone for tuning in. We appreciate you so much. And until next time, take care.